Yeah, he's still a top keeper. He's possibly not the goalkeeper that he was a few years ago on a consistent level. He's still one of the top ones. My favorite thing about De Gea was when he first came over to England. His first 5, 6 months were really poor, and he was, I think, 20 years of age. He was young, and it's really difficult for a young goalkeeper. He was getting terrible amounts of abuse by supporters, media, everybody. And then he came out of it, and for years he was the most consistent and the best. And I love that when a goalkeeper can, especially a young goalkeeper, can come out of that. And yeah, he's still one of the top goalkeepers around. And when he has a great performance, that doesn't surprise me at all. Really surprised, but they got one of the world's best managers, got one of the global's best squads. They had a lot of games last year, a lot of tired minds, a lot of tired legs. They've had injuries and suspensions this year. I'm not worried about Liverpool at all. They should keep rolling with who they have and how they play. They'll come out of it and they'll be consistent again. And I couldn't say enough nicer things about Jurgen Klopp and what he's done for the club. I just think I think last year fighting for 4 trophies and all the games that they had really took its toll. I think they've also had some injuries. They have players that are going to be leaving for the World Cup. And I think for all the clubs in the Premier League, this World Cup break, not really a break, but the World Cup is going to help them the most. I think after the World Cup, you're going to see a completely different Liverpool team. But I think just the injuries, suspensions, and the mental fatigue has been the main things. I don't, when big players come and go, that happens all the time at clubs. I would say more of an impact is it's taking a little bit longer for Nunez to have consistent form. Losing a player, that happens. So I think again, once Nunez finds his feet, and I know Liverpool also, they have the ways and means to go out in the transfer market again. They'll get that position right. No, I think they're going to be there's always a team from the bottom that comes up. They're only 6 points out of fourth. They can claw that up. Yeah, but people always say they're struggling. Antonio Conte's teams, they're hard to beat, and I don't see them struggling. Harry Kane scoring a lot of goals. They got Richarlison, they got Son, they got Kulusevski. They've got a great stadium, training ground, squad, players, one of the world's best managers. Yeah, I could see them finishing anywhere between first and fourth. But if they finish fifth or sixth, it's not a bad season. There's a lot of competition in the Premier League. I think he's one of the best, and I think he'll probably laugh off any criticism. He knows everywhere he's gone, he's won trophies. He knows how to get a team together, and I don't think he'll be worried at all. Harry Kane, 1.5 years left on his contract, the World Cup coming up. It'll be interesting to see what's going on behind the scenes with contract talks. It's the only club that I ever played for, only club that I really heard of, where players don't have the power. It's all Daniel Levy and the board. So that I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall on the meetings with Harry Kane's agent and Daniel Levy. Son, I think they can get Son to stay with contract talks. Antonio Conte, I don't know what kind of agreement he has, and I would like to think he's there on a longer term project. But you just don't know. I don't think if they don't lift a trophy, but they're fighting on all fronts and in the Champions League, I don't see a reason why Conte would leave or they would want to get rid of him. He's the one that took over for me at the club. I think he's just over 10 years now. Also won a World Cup. Was a goalkeeper of the team in the Champions League final. Liverpool won. He's been a remarkable servant. Been really consistent. If he does make a mistake, he knows how to bounce back from it. And he's a good pro. Very lean, keeps himself in good shape, and as long as mentally he wants to play into his 40s, he'll be one that's able to do it. Right now, I wouldn't be looking to find anyone to replace Hugo long term. When it does come time, then there will be a whole host of goalkeepers that they could go out and purchase to replace him, but I wouldn't even be thinking of it right now. He's been outstanding. He plays in a great team, plays for arguably the world's greatest manager right now. He gets an incredible amount of service and opportunities to score. Can he break the records? Yes, but we'll have to wait and see because you have to stay fit the whole season. These records are there, and long-standing records are there for a reason because they're hard to break. He's on pace to kill it, to shatter the record, but we'll just have to wait and see. Is he good enough? Yes. If he stays fit, he probably will, but you have to be able to do that through the course of the season. So we can take this back up in March or April, and then we'll know. Arsenal's top of the tree. With Man City, I would say, are still favorites. But again, you're going to have teams that are going to come up from the bottom after this World Cup. But yeah, I would say Man City are still favorites.
Blackburn, a club you know very well, are riding high in the Championship. Could you see them return to the Premier League?
Yes, I can. Championship, to do any predictions right now, it's the hardest league that I ever played in. You have a game every Saturday or Sunday and Tuesday and Wednesday throughout the whole season. Then you have your League Cup and you have the FA Cup, and there's 24 teams, so there's 46 games in the league. It is a long slog. So you got to get to February, March in those top positions, and then you have to have your squad carry you through these games. Right now, things are looking great. After the Christmas period, after the FA Cup starts, then we'll really see if they're going to be able to. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
I have two more questions, and they're MLS related. Okay. We saw LAFC advance to the MLS Cup yesterday. Two of their big signings were in the squad, Chiellini and Bale. What have you made of their impact on the club, and what does it say about the MLS that two players of their quality are playing in the States?
Incredible that they're both here. I mean, Bale, I don't know if it's injury related or not, but he was on the bench and didn't play. Chiellini played the first half. But when they signed over here, it was incredible. Fan furor. They were just everywhere, and players, the opposing fans wanted them to fail, and everybody in LA, that supports LAFC wanted them to do well. The neutrals were all excited to see what they were going to do, and they made this squad better, whether they're on the field or not. And they look the best team in MLS right now, and they look poised to being able to win MLS Cup.
Absolutely. There have been reports that Inter Miami are confident of signing Lionel Messi. What a coup would that be, and what would he bring to the MLS?
He would bring... So we had David Beckham over here, which was one of the best signings that MLS ever made for notoriety around the world. And in today's day and age with social media and everyone's sort of a journalist with their phones these days, and how quickly media gets around the world, this would be unlike anything anyone's ever seen in this country. Including when Pele was over here, just because of the way the media is. It would be incredible if Lionel Messi was playing in this league. The fans that he attracts, the global respect, how good he has been. If they can pull that off, I'm not generally for the older player coming in, but like Chiellini and Bales were for a reason. Ibrahimovic was for a reason, and they work out. If you can get Messi, get him over here.